Hey plant friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would film a repot with me because I have a lot of water propagations that desperately need to go into some sort of substrate, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. If you are in New Zealand, we are in a lockdown again, so we're in level 4 lockdown for 3 days. But for me personally that doesn't really change anything because I am at home anyway. I work from home and I am obviously looking after my baby. So let's just jump straight in, I guess. So let me show you what I have to repot today. So I have this big beautiful Monstera Adansonii cutting that I took off my mother plant inside because it was going all yellow and I didn't want to lose the plant, so I took the tip cutting off just in case. It has pretty good water roots on it, so yeah, it's got some pretty decent water roots on it. I'm probably going to put this one straight into, I don't know, maybe straight into tree fern fibre, or I might just put it straight into, yeah, I'm going to put them all straight into their soil mixes. So yeah, I've got that big, like, head test, big Adansonii to do. I have all of these beautiful variegated chain of hearts cuttings to put up. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my little reel I made about how I water propagate chain of hearts, and all of the ones that I took have been successful, so that is awesome. They are all rooted, ready to be potted up. I have this jar which has just got a mixture of Syngonium cuttings. So I've got this stunning Syngonium elbow cutting. I have two Syngonium chiapence cuttings, and I've got one reverted Syngonium mojito cutting, and they've all got some really nice roots on, so these guys are all going to be potted up as well. And then before I came outside I had all these in like different jars, so I just shoved them all into this big jar, but there is lots of Monstera Adansonii single leaf and 2 leaf cuttings. I have my little Syngonium confetti. If you don't know, Syngonium confetti were a new release to New Zealand. They were quite rare for quite some time, and then a nursery has been growing them. They were brought out. I bought a plant and kind of realised I didn't really have enough space for it, so I separated 2 little pups off. I've kept them for myself so I can grow them out, and I traded the bigger plant for a Hoya that I don't have, so that's cool. It's another Syngonium confetti leaf. So yeah, I've got 2 little pups that I'm going to pot together and lots of Adansonii cuttings in there, and they are all extremely well rooted. So yeah, that is what I am going to be potting up today. I will just pop them all back up here out of the way so I don't knock any vessels over. Okay, and I've got my cup of tea. Obviously you would have seen my Monstera cup. And I have a shenak. So this is my soil bin. In here I have cactus and succulent soil. I have fern fibre. I have cocoa chips like this. I have perlite, vermiculite, and yeah, I think that is all. So I'm kind of annoyed because the cocoa chip, the first lot of cocoa chip I got was really fine, and it's been amazing to pot Hoyas in, and then the next lot I got is super like super chunky, and it's kind of annoying to pot up. So anyway, whatever, that doesn't really matter. Oh, and another thing I have is cocoa peat, which is that really fine coconut stuff. So basically I am going to put some more of that in, put some more perlite in. Looks pretty good for fern fibre. I might put a couple more handfuls in. I'm not going to put any more of that cocoa chip because it's just too big. And I'm going to give it a good mix. And then I will pot up my cutting. So another thing I'm experimenting with is this Kiwi Char soil enhancer. It's basically like charcoal, I guess. And I've been adding little bits into my potting mixes just to help sort of purify the soil, and it also helps with a bit of water retention. So I'm just going to add a small bit into there and give it a really good mix through to make sure it's evenly distributed. They actually sent me this to try for free, so that's what I'm doing. I'm experimenting with it, so I don't really have any feedback on it yet, but I will let you know how these cuttings do because they will all be potted up with some of this in their soil. So if you guys know, over on my shop I sell clear pots, and I had one delivery come in not so long ago and all these pots were damaged in some way, so obviously I can't sell damaged product, so I have lots of pots to pot all my propagations in. They were poorly packaged and pretty much all the lips got chipped because obviously the box had been dropped and they had like hit against each other. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. I have lots of pots to use now. So I've got 9cm, 12cm and 15cm sized pots, and obviously I'm just going to pot them according to how much roots they have. So I'm going to use this for the chain of hearts. I also sell these. These are an awesome size for propagations. They're just the perfect size. They've got a good depth to them to allow the roots to grow nice and deep, and they've got these awesome, it's going to focus, these awesome big drainage holes at the bottom. So yeah, I'm going to be putting the variegated chain of hearts into that, and I'm going to do that first, I think, get that over and done with. So yeah, basically I'm using the same potting mix for all these plants that I'm going to be potting up. I pretty much use the same potting mix for all my plants anyway. I find that they all benefit from a really good chunky soil mix. It's well draining, so yeah, I don't really change it too much. I just sort of keep it the same for all of the plant children. Try and separate them a bit more. Like, chain of hearts are seriously one of the most frustrating things to repot. Are you with me, or are you with me? Because the hearts get all tangled and they get all stuck on each other and they're so hard to untangle. Okay. So I'm basically just wiggling them around, untangling them, letting them all hang in their own little hang spot. I'll put a little bit more soil in there. I do sometimes like to wrap and pin chain of hearts down to the top to make the top of the pot more full, but I don't think I'm going to with this one. Urgh! See, and one's come out because it was such a tangled mess. I will just poke you back in there, push the soil down, and pray to the plant gods that they don't fall out. So that is the little variegated chain of hearts all potted up. I think it looks really cute, and I don't know what I'll do with this one. Might keep it as a mother plant. I might repot it in the future. I might just let it adjust to the soil life and then find a cute ceramic pot and put it in. But for now it is just going to chill like that, and I'll pop her up there. And once I've finished repotting all these, I will give them a good water. I won't bother watering each one. So next I'm going to put up this beautiful Adansonii boy. I do want to get this one to climb, so I don't know, its roots are kind of small, but then Adansonii roots do grow extremely quickly, so I might put it in a 12 centimeter because I'm confident that the roots will establish pretty well, and the plant won't go into shock too much. So pop some soil in the bottom of the container, pop your cutting in the middle, chuck some more soil around, give it a bit of a shimmy shake, pack the soil down gently. You don't want to pack the soil down too much. And the thing when you are potting up your water propagations is you want to keep the soil quite moist for the first few days until it sort of acclimatizes to the fact that it is in soil now. And just because you're using like a bigger pot doesn't mean you have to fill the pot all the way up to the top. So if your plant's roots are sort of smallish, but you know they grow quite quickly, you can always put them in a bigger pot and just fill the soil up accordingly, and then as the roots fill out the pot you can lift the cutting up and add more soil into the pot without actually like repotting the plant each time. So that is him looking super beautiful. If you don't know already, Monstera Adansonii are probably hands down my favourite plant of all time. I just love them so much, and especially when they get their big leaves. My plan is to grow this guy like huge. So yeah, that's him done. Oh, let's pop him up there. Okay, what's next? Let's tackle these Syngonium dudes. So Syngoniums are another plant that has really thick, juicy roots, so they take to going from water to soil quite well. And as I said before, this is a reverted Syngonium mojito. I'm hoping the variegation will come back in the new leaf. We will see. It has a little bit of rot at the bottom of the stem, so I'm just going to snippy dippy that off because we do not want that to spread. And because it is such a small cutting, I am only going to put it in a 9 centimeter pot. Actually, no, I'm not going to waste a clear pot on it. I'm going to put it into one of these black pots. And just fill the soil up around. Super simple, one little dude in a pot. Cool. So, what I would like to know is, what got you into plants and how long have you been into plants? Like, is it a recent thing, like from COVID? Did you decide to get into plants because you were stuck at home, or have you been into plants for a long time? Obviously, there is no right or wrong answer, I'm just curious. Okay, so I'm going to put up this absolutely gorgeous Syngonium elbow. It does have a little new leaf on the way, and I actually thought it was going to be all green, but it's actually half green and half variegated. The variegated side hasn't unfurled yet. It has some pretty good roots on it. So he is going to go into a... I'm going to put it in a 12 centimeter, to be honest, because Syngonium roots grow super duper quickly as well, just like the Monstera Adansonii roots. And again, I won't fill it all the way up to the top because there is no need to fill up to the top just yet. Like, pretty much almost to the top, but you know. Cute! Oh, I love this one so much. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm probably gonna speed through these now, so I will come back to you once I've finished. Okay, so that is them all potted up, plus those two. I'm going to give them all a good drink now and find somewhere to put them until they establish. When you repot cuttings, they can look a little bit awkward until they grow in, but what I normally do is once they're sort of established and the auxiliary bud has started growing, I will cut off all these old leaves that I used to propagate from, and that will stop it looking so awkward. But yeah, that is all my cuttings potted up. I know this video was sort of random, quite short, a little bit awkward, but I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys are all keeping well. If you want to chat about plants or anything, leave some comments in the comment box below. I'm always down for a conversation. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if this is your kind of content. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!